Hello, everyone. This is Carol Guerrant with Century 21 Realty at Home. I am a lifelong resident and realtor here in Clarksville, Virginia's only lakeside town, I may add. And today we're going to be talking with Tracy Watson. Now, Tracy is an artist and she does some fabulous work. She is a talented musician, and just so happens she also has a home for sale right here on 5th Street in Clarksville. This beautiful 2-story home. She has spent a lot of time remodeling and updating, and I want to show it to you, and I want you to see it through the eyes and the voice of its owner. She knows this house inside out, and she loves Clarksville. And let's talk with her and see why this home just may be the perfect place for you. Well, Tracy, how are you doing today? I know this was, kind of a last minute thing. We wanted to get you out here and talk about you, but also talk about this house.
Yes.
So you've been in Clarksville for about how long?
Coming up on 15 years.
Wow.
It went really fast, yeah. I feel like I still just moved here. No, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So, this is not the first house you've owned, correct?
No. I mean, I've owned multiple homes, but the first one in Clarksville, and then we also remodeled another one in Clarksville too.
Cool.
So this is the second one we've rehabbed, I would say.
Wow, wonderful. So, as far as this home is concerned, I remember what it used to look like.
Yeah.
So what drew you to this particular home?
Well, I always liked older homes and anything that could be fixed up. I've had like 5 older homes, 100 years or more.
Right.
And so I'm just drawn to the character of them, and they have more space, and you can really put the work in yourself and just, increase the value on them without them like having to cost you a lot of money per se. Like if you hired a contractor or something like that, it's kind of do-it-yourself or style. So I've just had a lot of experience with that. My parents did it a long time. They didn't really like newer homes. They didn't like older homes so much. They like newer ones, like the worst house on the block. They would buy it and fix it up and live in it.
Yeah.
And then sell it again. So I kind of grew up around it.
Right, exactly.
So
it's just in your blood.
It really is. And so I just was more like, wow, I want the older one. So I've just always been attracted to those. So, and then Clarksville was, by the water, and the town was cute. And there were things kind of getting fixed up here too when I first bought the house. So I like that. And then I like that all the houses don't look the same. So, my house doesn't look exactly like the house next door.
That's right.
So yeah, it's a variety.
So many places you go, they are kind of cookie cutter in certain areas.
Right, yeah. So you can give it your own style and character. And so yeah, I just saw the bones and the structure. I love these old, I call them salt box houses, farmhouses, whatever. The square that, got the extensions on one way or the other. They're just they have a really simple design, but then you can make them fancier if you want to.
Right.
So,
exactly.
And you've got you walk in, and you've got a hallway, which is really nice to have. Not a lot of houses these days have a hallway.
That's true.
So you're not walk right into your living room.
That's right.
Or right into a kitchen. So that's, when I come in, I just kind of get a feeling about a house and how it flows. And this one had that. So it definitely, I think houses speak to us.
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, that's kind of what, as soon as I walked in the door, I was like, this one will work. So that's why.
So Tracy, what do you think makes this home stand out compared to others in Clarksville?
For one, the location is really great. You're about a block from downtown, about a block from the lake. There's views all around here. So if you look out back, you've got the woods. There's a church next door, so there's hardly anyone over there.
That's right.
So a lot of privacy for being in town.
That's right.
I have deer in the backyard right now, just walking around, really cute little baby deer.
Yeah.
And the side, I'm far back from the sidewalk, like I'm not right on the road. And then you're just in walking distance of downtown restaurants, shopping. You really don't even need a car if you didn't want to.
That's right. I see you've got a golf cart out there.
Yeah, I've got a golf cart in the golf cart district. So, and there's a lot of great walking. So if you like to walk outside, walk your dogs, or just walk for exercise, really nice side streets are right here. Just walk out your door in the morning and go, and it's safe, and There's not a lot of traffic. There's a little traffic when there's like a festival in town.
Oh, sure.
For tourists, but
Yeah.
I'm welcoming of that. I think that's great. You can sit on your front porch and see a lot of fun action.
That's right. That's right. And I understand you can go up on your roof and see the fireworks.
Yes,
for Lake
you
Fest.
can. Yes, the fireworks are right there.
Yeah.
And you can also see the lake in the wintertime when the trees are down a little.
Yeah.
But I still feel like I live on a lake, or I say on the island.
Yeah.
Because there's water surrounding me, and I can feel it. Like it's right at the end of Fifth Street, and you can do a lake walk from here.
You sure can.
Hit Fifth Street, 4th Street, 3rd, and it's just all surrounding.
Yep.
And it's very it's breezy here, and I've got nice big porches to sit on. So there's a lot of charm, a lot of different things going on for this house, and then of course I made it a little bit unique with a brighter color.
Yes.
And so I've artsied it up a little bit.
You did. Speaking of artsy, I know you're a painter.
Yes.
So I noticed a lot of your artwork around here as well. So what drew you into art? No pun intended.
I've always been creative and artsy, and just done many different things. I paint, draw, I sew. Yeah. And I've done a lot of interior decorating. And I guess I just sort of I say a fabricator. Yeah. So if you need a big moon cut out of wood, I could make that happen. Or I've done events and weddings and just so many different things. So
right.
I like to do all of it. So I say it's a blessing and a curse.
Yes. I almost feel like this home has drawn some of that out in you as well.
Yes, definitely. And another wonderful thing I think for this area, for an artsy person, or if you just like to play with driftwood, there's a ton of driftwood in the lake. So I don't see that as an eyesore. I see that as like art. Yeah. So when I go out there, I'm like, oh, that piece I could do this on, or I could hang this on the wall. And I love when people use driftwood around here in their landscaping, or just on the wall, or just like a pretty, a stick sitting on the table.
That's right.
So you have free decorating right here.
You sure do, absolutely.
So yeah, that was a big draw. And of course, water, the birds, the herons. I love painting birds. Yeah. You'll see a couple of heron paintings in the house. Yeah. And so, all of that too, all of the nature and wildlife here.
Exactly.
And fish.
Yes.
Yep.
I see you've got a big catfish on the front porch.
Yes,
we'll have to get a picture of that.
Catfish are ugly, but everyone loves them here, so there's a lot of catfish art.
That's right. That's right. All right, so with your time that you're here, because you work from home, so you're doing your art, you're doing your music, you're doing your work. What has become your favorite space in this house?
By far, I would say the kitchen. Everything seems to happen in there. Yeah. So there's, cooking, making tea and coffee. I feel like I have my own little coffee shop in there. And it seems to be, there's always one central gathering space in the house. Sometimes it's a living room, sometimes it's a back porch. In this house, everyone is drawn to the kitchen. No matter what we're doing, we could be sitting on the front porch. If friends come over, neighbors, everyone just somehow ends up in the kitchen. Right. A lot of, eating, drinking, dancing, enjoying each other's company. So
yeah, exactly. So if you could describe this home maybe in 3 words from your experience of living here, what would it be?
I would say exciting, because there's always things, changing. And activities, so you can't be bored here. Right. And I would say comfortable. This house has always been comfortable. Even when I've lived through construction work in here, it just seems like a big hug to live in. Yes. And then I would say happy. Like I've been really happy. My family and my friends always just feel really happy when they come in here. Yeah. So it has good energy.
It does have good energy. Yeah. I certainly have felt it being here for the times that I have. And you've got it so cute too. I love what you've done to it.
I like to create little comfy spots like all over the place just to sit in. So
yeah, that's right. But then you end up in the kitchen.
Yes, pretty much.
That's okay. So with your amount of time, I think 15 years is what you said, you've been here in Clarksville. What do you love most about living in Clarksville?
I find that most of the people here that were here originally or that have moved here are very friendly and they want to hang out. They want to have a social life. So that was kind of important to me because I'm social. Right. But you also can have your alone time if you want. If you want to go by the lake and be in solitude, you have that option because it is not overcrowded. We have some growth going on here. There are restaurants. There's new little bars downtown and places to shop. There's retail. There's thrift stores. I mean, pretty much you can have all of that all the time. Or if you feel like, you know, want some quiet time, you can just go for a nature walk. You can go walk the shoreline of the lake and be all by yourself with
we
nature.
have Occoneechee State Park just across the lake there.
Yeah, the state park,
hiking trails, and you know, splash park.
Yeah, and if you
children.
can get out on the lake on any kind of vessel, you can. It's your choice: kayak, canoe, pontoon. We had a friend who had a paddleboard,
right?
And we all paddled on the paddleboard and went out on the lake. So
that's right.
Anything that floats, you can get out there and, you know, within minutes be on a sandy shoreline. So that's also a great feature here. So I've been to a lot of lakes, and to have rocky, sandy shores is a nice thing. You're not stepping in mud. I mean, you can find mud, but mostly you can have a nice little walk-in, gentle sloping beach to get in the water, which is just phenomenal.
I agree. So of all the little shops and everything that's here in town, is there a little hidden gem that you really like to maybe share?
Well, I'm definitely drawn to the artsy, quirky places. So I'm gonna shout out the corner at 216 because they have interesting art in there. They have classes. They're always changing up their merchandise. I have things in there, but I'm not saying it for that reason. But I do shop. I literally go in there and shop. Like I buy from other artists. So that's a draw. There's little spots around town I like to walk to just to view the lake. There's little spots, like there's a little place called Gypsy Beach that has a nice view, and there's little interesting things down on the shoreline, like some outdoor art installments, like a canoe with plants in it.
That's right.
And then there's like a windmill made out of water skis.
Oh, I've seen that. Is so
that is so cute. So I look for things like that, but I'm inclined to the art. I think our town park downtown is nice. You can sit there and see the lake, pretty much 360-degree views of the bridge and the water.
That's right.
So those are the kind of places I look for. I'm visual, so I like to go to those places. And I love our thrift store, the Roriton thrift store.
Oh yeah, sure.
You can find so many treasures. You can decorate your house. You can get a new outfit. So I love shopping there. And I also donate a lot of things there. They give to the community. They give back to the community. So I think it's a really great win-win situation. So if you want to move some furniture out of your life, you take it there, and then you can pick up a few new pieces and bring them home.
Exactly. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tracy, you have done a lot of work to this home since you've moved in. It certainly could be an investment property. It could be a single-family home, Airbnb, duplex. What are some things that you've done to the home, and what are some ideas that you may have had for the use of the home once that all of that work has been done?
Sure. So I tackle big projects in the house every few years when I could afford to do it. Things cost a lot of money these days. If it was something I couldn't do myself, so we have replaced the roof. So that's new. The house has been painted on the outside. A lot of it's old clatterboard siding, so we try to maintain that as much as possible.
That's original to the home.
It's original to the home.
So many people put vinyl siding over that, and oh my gosh, I hate that.
I know, yeah. So I love the clatterboard, but it does take a little bit of upkeep. And then the house needed to have electrical upgraded panel before it could have any type of new heating and air.
Right.
So we put in the new 220 electric panel, and that way it could handle the HVAC. So we did the bottom level. And then we found out that really the top level needed it as well. Yeah. Just because of the size of the house. I lived many years without AC upstairs, but I just did window units. So I finally gave in and got the attic HVAC installed. So that's brand new this year.
Yes.
And it's wonderful. It was so hot in the summer. So I was loving that. So yeah, it's worked out really well. Everything's gone well with it. So you never know sometimes when you do these big improvements on old houses how they're going to go. But everything went smoother than we thought. So it was great. No problems. And then let's see, we replaced the front porch with the roof and the decking on the front. And then we did a small deck on the back, just a new landing with steps and a deck. And then let's see, just general, sanding floors, painting everywhere, putting up, molding if it needed, just cosmetic type things.
Exactly.
Did a little bit. All the bathrooms have been remodeled in some degree with some new tile and
I love the
outlets.
Soaking tub upstairs.
Yes,
there's a large bath. We'll show it, but there's a large bathroom upstairs.
Yeah, old clawfoot tub. It's in great shape. It was in great shape when we found it. it was in a smaller bathroom upstairs. So that was probably an old bedroom that was converted into a bathroom. So we just kind of went with that and made it even nicer.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But I also, when I remodel an old home, I really don't want to take away from the integrity of the age of the house. So I try not to over modernize it. Sometimes I peel back some things that have been done and make it more the original. So I picture this as a farmhouse, little lake cottage farmhouse, I guess, if that's such a thing.
Yeah.
So I definitely wanted to keep that integrity on that. So I didn't change anything that was like looked historical or looked nice and worn in and used.
Exactly. So how do you think it would work as like an investment property? Not just long-term rental, but how about short-term rental? Is that a possibility you think here?
Yeah, there is a growing Airbnb market in this area as well as everywhere, but especially here in Clarksville. The location's great for getting out on the lake, travelers. There's a lot of larger companies moving here, industrial style, like out in the, not right here in Clarksville, but on the outskirts.
Yeah.
And there's possibility for rental income.
Right.
I think it'd be a great Airbnb because the house has many doors. You can close off half the house and rent out this front part. You could do long-term or you could do Airbnb. It just depends on if you want to entertain someone or if you just want the income. Single family house. I mean, I had kids here and I've always had tons of kids running around this house. You can't hurt it. So I had boys that ran all over this house.
Yes.
So yeah, it really could work for multiple things. And then if you were, say, a retiree, you could live, there's a one-level master ensuite.
That's right.
So you could just keep the upstairs for the grandkids or the family when they come into town. And then you could just live one-level living right here in town and still have the charm of an older home.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Or one-level living and rent out the top.
Yes.
Certainly could do that as well.
Yeah, and there's also a garage. We're still tinkering with that, but I always kind of pictured the garage as being a little tiny cottage to rent out to. I didn't get to that, but I always pictured it as being
that could work.
So yeah, we got a lot of fishermen that come into town. They wouldn't need anything fancy. You could just put a little bed and a sink in there.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, there's that option. Or just put your golf cart in there.
This is also true. We are in the golf cart district.
Yeah.
So you've raised kids here. You've lived here as an empty nester. So what is maybe one of your fondest memories that you have about living in this home?
I would say one time we had a lot of friends over. We do have people come and hang on the porch a lot of neighbors, and all the kids were younger, and we got an old-fashioned ice cream machine out there.
Yeah.
And we got the ice and the salt and all the cream, and the kids just sat out there on the porch and cranked the ice cream, and they just had the best time ever. I just thought that was the coolest thing, to make ice cream. So it's kind of old-fashioned things that really stick with me when I think about that. My son and I did a lot of, when he was really little, he helped me a lot with the remodeling, so I got to teach him some things on how to paint and prep a wall and demo. He loved the demo. Yeah, of course. And my daughter came in and she helped me do some tiling. So I think those are fun times when you get to do some remodeling and teach your kids what you learned or what you know,
Right.
and hopefully they'll take it with them in life and know how to use those skills. So,
so if the walls could talk, right?
Yes. So those are my fondest memories.
So if you had one piece of advice for someone that might be a newcomer coming to Clarksville and maybe enjoying this home, enjoying the town, what advice would that be?
I think that they would find that most people here are, like I said, are very social. I think you could make really long-lasting friendships if you just find the right group of people. Just figure out what is your interest. It's here. Yeah. So if you're into sewing or
pickleball,
working out, boating, fishing, drinking wine. I mean, there is an interest here for everyone, surprisingly. Yeah. So it is a little country-ish life, which is nice. It's a nice blend. But you have people who've come from other areas and have started little groups, and I'm in a book club. So just depending, you can find your interest. That's my advice. So
exactly, we like to say we're a small town with a big heart.
That's right. I totally agree on that. And you're not too far from traveling. Like I say, I'm this location is so great if like you want to get to the beach in a couple hours, or if you want to get to the mountains in a couple hours, you can get to an airport in a couple hours.
That's right.
So, you know, really great driving distance location wise, to Raleigh, to Richmond, Virginia Beach, you know, so I think it's a really good place to be in the United States.
Yeah, I do too. So Tracy, this area, tell me a little bit about what you've done as you enter the home.
Okay, so here's the doorway entrance, big spacious hallway. When I bought the house, the only way to get into the side bedroom was underneath those stairs and that door.
Yes.
And that proved a little challenging with furniture, and I also used it as my sewing and craft room, so I was hauling lots of things in there. So eventually, a couple years ago, I decided to check to see. I always envisioned that this was open, and I was right. So we found that the floor was running this way. So at one point, the house probably did have an opening or door here. So I just went ahead and went with that and opened it up and just, you know, trimmed it out. We're gonna put a sliding door on here for privacy because I wanted it to be kind of a large opening. So, and it's nice, you can use it as, you know, it could be a living room, it could be a bedroom, it could be a craft room, but it was a bedroom and it has 2 closets. So with the door, so you have, I like the option of that.
Yeah.
So, and it made it feel bigger in here.
It does.
Yeah, so you just have to look at your space, and, you know, if you feel like something should go somewhere, you might be right in an old house.
Yeah, exactly. So this is one of your favorite spots in the house. So
Yes.
tell us what all you've done in here.
All right, so when I first got here, the ceiling and the floor were both covered with, say, 1950s, 1960s material, like a drop ceiling. The floor had a linoleum cover on it. So I started peeling back the layers just to get back to the original farmhouse feel of the house. So I found these nice worn floors, and then the ceiling was all of this beadboard. So we just cleaned it up and patched and painted, and it was taller. And then the floors just have been nice and worn looking. People pay for this kind of look now.
They sure do.
You know, I had it naturally under there. The walls were lined with shelves, and I just decided they were old-fashioned. They weren't really nice quality shelves. Kind of looked like, you know, like I said, 1950s or something. So took all those out and just did kind of the open concept and just did a butcher block counter. So it's sort of your, you know, typical, like what a farmhouse would be like.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, I love the large farmhouse sink, and then you've got, then the window is new, correct?
Yeah, I wanted to put in a newer window just that would be nice and wide and open. The old window was falling apart and had the grids and always looked dirty. And so this way I can just crank it out and let the air in, and I can see everything going on outside.
That's right.
Yeah, so, and we put in the, you know, exhaust, and you know, I think a bigger stove would be nice, like a nice cook stove.
Yeah,
we've got one here that's working.
You definitely got.
Anyway, yeah. So this is kind of, you know, dance floor, cooking space.
That's right. And then outside here, you know, if you go out the store here, you go out to like a sunroom, and then the deck.
Yes, and you got like a mud room and laundry room, and then right out to the out deck. So you can close this door off if you need to. I've got the dogs out there right now, so
exactly.
but it's nice, and you got your backyard. So lots of little nooks and crannies and space, lots of storage. That's a really important thing about this house. That's amazing, because old houses don't have closets and, you know, back rooms and different things. So this one does have that. There's a pantry right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, lots of storage.
Yeah, very good. So right now we're still on the first floor. This is it could be a primary ensuite. So tell us a little bit about what you've got going on in here.
So this is definitely a nice, big, spacious room, and this is the one that has a bathroom attached to it and a walk-in closet. So it's been painted, has a nice floor in here, hardwood floor, and then we just did the bathroom. We just gave it an upgrade with new tile floor. That tile was done just a couple years back, and we kept the old tub because it's in really great shape, and you can't even buy a cast iron tub like this hardly anymore without it costing, you know, a few $1,000s.
That's right.
So it looks great, so we used that, just put in a new sink, and you got linen storage over here. So it's a nice, spacious bathroom. Could definitely be a primary bathroom.
Yeah, sure. I love
bedroom.
The little window too.
Yeah, that little window. I brought this with me. It wasn't here, but it just fit the whole space perfectly. So just a little peek out window.
That's right. That's right. Very nice. I love it. And let me get a little.
Yes, and I love the tile. I thought the tile looked like water.
Oh,
so
it does.
I love anything that ties in with the lake.
That's right.
Style.
So we're upstairs now. I think one of the cutest little areas here is just right behind you, that little door there that is a little mystery for some people. So tell us a little bit, you know, like, can you actually use that door?
Yeah, so I believe it was an old window opening, and they converted it into a door so that you can get out on the roof. So you can just, you know, it's got this old-fashioned screen door.
Yeah.
You can open these up to let air in if you want to.
Cool.
And then, you know, obviously you can climb right out there.
That's right, and go watch those fireworks.
And you can see the lake over the horizon.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. So as we enter the upstairs bathroom, I just love this spot. And I also love that, like, the tub and the toilet are actually separated by a little partition there. But you've got that nice soaking tub. It's a large room, double vanity. So tell us a little bit about what all you've done up here.
So this was all totally redone when I first moved in. We think, you know, it might have been an old bedroom, but there was toilet space and sinks up there. So we just kind of reconfigured, wanted to do the hidden toilet wall. So it was such a big, you know, room that you were able to do that. I always think that's a nice touch if somebody wants to be using the sink or taking a bath. You can also have access to that. And then the clawfoot was in great shape, and having it in front of the window so you could, you know, look outside and see nature, and the sky was kind of nice. There's no neighbors back there.
That's right. There's no neighbors, just trees.
Yeah, so lots of just tree and privacy. And then we did a little hidden stand-up shower in here. So it's got some fishies on the wall, just a natural travertine tiles. Nothing too fancy, but it's comfortable and it's sturdy and lasts forever.
That's right. So tell me about this door that's behind you.
So this door was in the house. It was actually like in one of those, a partition or something in here. And this door was there. I don't know if it was a closet or what, but I kept it, and I've used it for many different little projects just to stand up for a display. Right. But I figured it had towel racks already on it. These were on here. Yeah. This is like your green milk glass. And so I was like, well, that's going to be the new towel rack.
That's right. It fits perfectly.
Yeah, just using some of the original pieces from the house,
that's
architectural features.
That's right. Let's get a little shot of this. This is where I could just melt away the cares of the day for sure. Very nice.
Also, there's a fig tree.
There is a fig tree.
Yeah.
So, you know, I love, this thing is huge, Tracy.
Yes, it is. So here you go.
Oh my gosh, look at that. So
you
yummy.
You can tell when they're ready, when they start to, I say when they start to split, kind of. That's probably a better time.
Oh yeah.
And you just feel them if they're not firm enough. They got to have pink belly buttons. And so these are probably pretty good ones here, and pull those off. Those.
That is so yum.
And this thing puts out, no kidding, 50 to 60 pounds of figs a year.
Wow.
You can make jelly the last year for 5 years if you wanted.
That's right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed our conversation with Tracy Watson and getting to know the heart and soul of 217 5th Street, and also our community here on Bugs Island, Kerr Lake. So if you want to schedule a showing to view this home, you can certainly contact me, Carol Guerrant, at Century 21 Realty at home. I'd love to show you this home and introduce you to lake life.